In this video, I'm going to show you how Cobra Insurance works, what it does, and why you should sign up for it. Understanding Cobra can be confusing, and it's easy to make mistakes when signing up for this coverage. Cobra can help you pay for your medical insurance after leaving work, but there are several steps involved in applying for Cobra. You need to know who provides your current group health plan and how much time you have before losing access to coverage, and what forms and paperwork you need to apply for Cobra. This video will cover every step of the process, from finding out if you qualify for Cobra benefits through signing up for it with an online enrollment system. Hi there, my name is Craig from Trending Money, and in today's video I want to talk about the benefits of Cobra Insurance. If you're one of those people who are constantly changing jobs or you lost your job, chances are that you've got some gaps in your healthcare coverage. Cobra helps bridge that gap when your employer provided healthcare expires until the next open enrollment period starts. So let me explain what Cobra is and how it can help protect you during these uncertain times. Cobra is short for Consolidated Omnibus Budget Reconciliation Act. It is a type of health coverage that can help those who have lost their jobs and keep coverage at the same rates they had when employed. I will now discuss with you how to sign up for Cobra Insurance so that you get your life back on track after losing your job. A subscriber of ours, Michael, wrote to us about his experience with signing up for Cobra shortly before he was let go from work. He also said his early application had saved him from having no health coverage in the period after he left his job. Here's Michael's story. I had just lost my job, and without it I would not be able to afford the cost of the healthcare insurance plan that was provided by my former employer. I was so relieved that someone took the time to tell me what I needed to know about Cobra coverage. I went straight home and clicked on the website of my insurance company because it's difficult to get them on the phone. When I found out about Cobra coverage, it laid my fears to rest, and I knew just what I needed to do. Michael now shares a few tips with you about how he signed up for Cobra and how this helped him after he lost his job. Please note, this video is not intended as legal information and does not provide legal advice. If you need legal advice, contact a licensed attorney. The COBRA Act is a law that allows employees to continue employer-sponsored healthcare after they leave their job. It's important to know how much time you have left on your Cobra coverage and what steps to take before it expires. Coming up is the first tip Michael shared with us on implementing his Cobra plan after he had lost his job. In the meantime, I will show you what steps you must take to validate your plan. First, you must verify that you had the correct type of plan. Did you know that Cobra is not a federal insurance program? Instead, it is a federal law that allows you to keep any private insurance that you might have had after a loss of coverage. Cobra coverage always applies to those who are part of an employer group plan. Most healthcare offered through an employer will qualify for Cobra coverage, but individual insurance, including private insurance purchased on the federal health exchanges, does not qualify. One exception exists for small health plans though. If your plan has at least 20 employees, it qualifies for Cobra coverage. If you have any questions about your eligibility for Cobra Insurance, call your insurance company and ask for the summary plan description. They should be able to provide you with that. Did you know that qualifying for Cobra coverage requires other factors, including the event in which you lost your job? In this next tip, I will show you how and why that is very important. It is important to verify that you had an appropriate qualifying event. An event is what has caused you to lose your insurance coverage. A qualifying event may include the death of an employee, their termination, or a reduction in their hours. Notably, it is not a qualifying event if the employee lost their job due to gross incompetence. Employment termination is a qualifying event for Cobra regardless of how the employee leaves, voluntarily or not. Misbehavior is not defined as a pre-existing condition by law and may be interpreted by the court if your employer challenges your application for Cobra coverage. There must be proof that the act of willful wrongdoing was directly associated with your employment. However, employers typically don't charge employees with wrongdoing, and thus it probably won't be an issue. In a few moments, I will now share with you practical steps to apply for Cobra. Let's quickly look at one last thing you must consider before you start your application. Another thing you must do is to establish that you are a qualifying beneficiary. Did you know that a qualifying beneficiary is any family member who was on the employee provided healthcare before the qualifying event? If your parent goes on Medicare, they no longer qualify and would not be eligible for Cobra. A child child, however, can apply for COBRA independent of their parent. Also, if you are the beneficiary of someone else's insurance and they lose coverage, COBRA can cover your expenses. This includes instances where the person died or went on to Medicare coverage. If your relationship with the plan holder changes, such as you divorce them or you become an adult child no longer eligible to be a dependent, COBRA Insurance will still provide continuous coverage. Coming up are the easiest tips on how to apply for COBRA, which Michael told us about. They have been tested and proven to be true. Give notice of the qualifying event. COBRA is a great option for people who lose their health insurance benefit, but it can be hard to figure out how to give notice of a qualifying event and enroll in COBRA coverage. The summary plan description will tell you everything you need to know about giving notice of a qualifying event and enrolling in COBRA coverage. If you are unable to locate this document, contact your employer or insurance company directly for information on how to provide notice of a qualifying event. Usually, COBRA eligibility is not an issue. After a qualifying event, employers are required to contact affected employees and inform them that they have the opportunity to purchase continuation coverage through their employer's group plan. Although employers usually make unemployed individuals aware of any beneficial qualifying event, it is not always up to them. For example, if they're not notified of a divorce or the loss of dependent status, they cannot reach out to you. Federal law dictates that you have up to 60 days to notify your insurance company of a qualifying event starting on the date on which the coverage terminated. Remember to give notice of qualifying events and enroll in COBRA coverage to protect your health insurance benefits. There is one last condition you need to consider if you were to continue with your application for COBRA coverage. With this next tip, I'll show you what else you need to be updated about. Sit tight. You have to review your COBRA election notice. In no more than 14 days of contacting your insurance company about a qualifying event, it must send you a COBRA election notice. This will give you all of the information necessary about your rights and options under COBRA, including the cost. If you choose to take advantage of this opportunity, your health insurance should not change in any way now that you are no longer employed. You are now responsible for the cost of COBRA insurance and may even have to pay more than you originally did. You should consider other options if you find this to be too expensive. If you are okay with the cost of insurance, then you are good to go. The next tip will tell you how you can be part of the COBRA plan. This is everything you've been waiting for. The next thing to do is to sign up for COBRA. If you are okay with the arrangement, return your COBRA election notice to your insurance company within 60 days. You could not be charged when sending in a request for coverage, but will need to pay premiums. The first payment may come as early as 45 days after starting coverage and is due immediately if covered by Medicare or Medicaid while receiving unemployment benefits. The paperwork will be a breeze, and each provider is allowed to have their election notice. To avoid a time-consuming process, the federal government has created an easy-to-use sample COBRA notice that only requires coverage that protects you from unexpected events with no warning. You can take advantage of a 30-day grace period before your COBRA insurance is terminated. I will now provide you with one final tip on how you can get good coverage after you have lost your job. Follow closely as everyone needs to know this. Start your search for alternative insurance within a year. As soon as you start receiving COBRA benefits, the clock begins to tick. You only have 18 months to find a new plan or else your coverage will end. Even if you can't afford it right away, I urge you to start looking for alternative insurance within a year of losing your job. Some people think they can just wait until the last minute to sign up for an alternative insurance plan and then get coverage immediately when their COBRA ends. Unfortunately, that's not how it works. The best possible scenario would be signing up for a new policy within 30 days of losing your job, but ideally you should look into other options well before that period has elapsed. Sometimes a plan will let you stay on longer. However, other times they can terminate coverage early for factors that are not in your control either. If you don't pay your premiums promptly, then it's possible to lose access to the plan. If this happens, then you're not eligible for Medicare or a new health insurance policy from an employer. To avoid this, follow these steps. You should find out when the coverage will end if prompt payment is not made. You may also ask friends about their plans if they have them, in case yours ended up cancelled altogether. I am sure this will help you keep up to speed. This is everything you need to know about your application for COBRA. If you would like to know more about common health insurance hacks and tricks, then click on the link in the playlist on on the screen. It will give you all the knowledge you need to make sure you are not taken advantage of. Please like, share and subscribe to help others like you find this video and get help with their Cobra insurance. Thank you for watching.